My brother and I, we would cook a lot together, especially when we were kids. You know, that's when we were closest. Food was always our common ground. We wanted to open a restaurant together. We had a name, we had a vibe, all of it. My brother can make you feel confident in yourself. You know, like when I was a kid, if I was nervous, I was scared, I wouldn't want to do something, he'd always tell me to just face it, you know, get it over with. He would always say, stupid, he would always say, let it rip. He was loud. He was hilarious. And he had this amazing ability. He could walk into a room and he could take the temperature of it instantly. You know, he could dial it. And I'm not built like that.
Yo, thanks for checking this out. Different kind of creative minds, hope you're enjoying. Yeah, peace, enjoy.
You are live with Creative Minds Radio. This is Creative Minds Radio.
Well, I had strong first impressions. It was not a script that really was open to too much interpretation. It wasn't loaded with pauses and leaving up space for interpretation. It was like a very strong piece of writing with strong characters, with strong points of view. So it kind of, it really I don't know, like the old cliche, like it did really jump off the page for me. I felt like a lot of these characters were really fully expressed, strong, bright colors. You know, they were loud, and so I felt like just oftentimes I don't have this experience, but just from reading the script, I felt like I got a real understanding of what the show would be like.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
I'm Sydney. I called about the soup position. I'm massaging today.
Right.
And you said I
Shit,
massaged
sorry,
today.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Carmi, here, you give me your...
Yes.
Thank you. Linear smoke vec, that's some serious heat. What's UPS? That's in Chicago, or?
United Parcel Service.
Shit.
The one.
That's the UPS.
mail, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you do for them?
Drove. Paid my way through culinary school, so.
CIA?
CIA, yeah.
Okay, so what are you doing here?
You know, this was my dad's favorite spot when I was a kid. Come here every Sunday. Special place.
Good. Okay, so you know the drill. You're gonna make family. It's meat plus 3, and we eat around 2.
Yeah, heard. Dope. Cool.
What's up?
Can I just ask you a question, maybe?
Of course, yeah.
I know who you are.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, you're the most excellent CDC at the most excellent restaurant in the entire United States of America. So, what are you doing here, I guess?
Making sandwiches.
This is Creative Minds Radio.
We were lucky lucky we have Maddie Matheson, who's like a wonderful chef and a restaurateur, and Chris's sister, Coco, who's a really wonderful chef. They're like with us all the time. And I also got to like work in really great restaurants and be around really great chefs, and so did Io, who plays Sydney, and we had a lot of time for that. Like we shot the pilot, like our show wasn't like a go, it was like we shot the pilot, we waited around for 6 months to see if we could do the rest kind of thing. And I just used those 6 months. I hung out in kitchens and hung out with chefs. That was so important for Chris, and also for me to, again, like, to find that confidence to like, you know, I was like, okay, if I really show up and I go to these kitchens and I listen to these people and I like try to figure out like the dance of like a kitchen and the movement, then I've got no excuses, like, you know. So I found confidence through just being able to tell myself, you know, I put in that time or whatever it was, and that helped me. That helped me like show up, you know.
Peace, hope you're enjoying. Consider dropping a like if you're enjoying the stuff, help other people find it, and yeah, peace.
You are live with Creative Minds Radio.
How'd you get good at this? Honestly, I've made a lot of mistakes.
That's the secret? Just fuck up.
It might be, you know, fuck up. I think as I started early, I got my skill set up really quick, and then started to feel like I was really the best, you know? Like at all these really good places, I really was the best cook. And then I started at this really great place as a commie, and this other chef started the same day as me. And I thought we were competition, but really we weren't. Like, he was better than me, much, much better than me. He worked harder and faster than I ever could. And it was the first time I realized that I wasn't the best, and I was never gonna be the best. So I started looking at it like it was a good thing. Like, at least I knew who the best was now, and I could take that pressure off myself. And the only logical thing to do was to try and keep up with him. So I never left this guy's side.
And you got better.
Oh, mate, I got better than I ever thought I possibly could be, just from trying to keep up with him.
This is Creative Minds Radio. You are live with Creative Minds Radio.
I look for a verse that I can't seem to find. When I go to reach it, just leaves my mind. Waking with no. How could a poem hold the way I see your soul? All
Yeah, I like starting.
So why do you do this?
I do it for a living.
No, but like, don't you have stodges that do this shit?
Yeah, I like starting the day with this.
Why?
Respect feels attached. I think time spent doing this is time well spent.
Time well spent? That's what it's all about?
Yeah, I think so.
When did that start?
Oh, I tried to open a giant place years ago. I had all these accolades. I was younger. I was on fire. I was arrogant. And I tried to move too fast, couldn't keep the place open, and the market crashed, and I got killed.
Public wipeout?
Oh, yeah, the most public wipeout.
So how'd this place happen?
Oh, no, that was on my 38th birthday. I was out walking all night, unemployed, angry, depressed, blaming everybody else for all the time I'd lost and the money I'd lost, all of it. And it was raining, and I was walking through Lincoln Park. My phone had died. And so I stood under this awning waiting for the rain to stop. And I just stood there and stared, and then eventually the sun came up, and it turns out I was right there. And then I walked round to the front, and I saw the sign. It was an actual sign. It was a restaurant for lease sign.
Like, never too late kind of thing.
Yeah, never too late to start over.
The light becoming clear, I walk along.
This is Creative Minds Radio.
Pull my head over my ears, scale the old limestone. A spring beneath the leaves, in a forest free to grow, with the orange morning glow, and then it starts to snow.
I was certainly anxious when we were getting started. Before I mean, I'm anxious like to start any job. Really, it doesn't really matter. I find that like I come with like an anxious energy. You know, I was on a show for 11 years before I did The Bear, and it felt like it was like such a big opportunity, and I was putting so much pressure on myself, you know, as an actor to perform and kind of like break out of this thing that was like a great job, but I'd just been doing it for so long. And I think for Carmy too, he was trying to kind of like prove his worth to these people who weren't taking him very seriously. And so I think I tried to use my own kind of like anxious ambition to like, you know, get involved with Carmy's.
Stopped letting me into the restaurant a couple of years ago. He just cut me off cold, and that hurt, you know.
I think at a certain stage it becomes less about skill and it's more about being open.
Open?
Yeah, to the world, to yourself, to other people. You know, most of the incredible things I've eaten haven't been because the skill level is exceptionally high or there's loads of mad fancy techniques. It's because it's been really inspired.
I like that.
You can spend all the time in the world in here, but if you don't spend enough time out there, you know, helps to have good people around you too.
So was it worth it? The time you put in?
Ask me tomorrow.
By the time we had you mount a play, everyone in the other side of the production is already gone, it's already set, but to have everyone there like that with us, and everyone's by the time we had you mount a play, everyone in the other side of the production is already gone, it's already set, but to have everyone there like that with us, and everyone's to use Matthew's term earlier, doing the dance, it was just so beautiful. And coming from the theater, it was like, wow. I mean, I was a bit jealous because I didn't have as much to do, and I was like, you know, just like watching this beauty happen in front of my eyes it was just it was kind of emotional for me in a whole lot of ways, just like watching them and watching how this whole thing happened. It just reminded me of all that time.
The restaurant, he stopped letting me into the restaurant a couple of years ago. He just cut me off cold, and that hurt, you know? And I think that flipped this switch in me where I was like, okay, fuck you, watch this. And because we had this connection through food, and he had made me feel so rejected and lame and shitty and uncool, I made this plan where I was gonna go work in all the best restaurants in the world. You know, like I'm gonna go work in real kitchens, like fuck mom and dad's piece of shit, right? And it sounds ridiculous, you know, me saying that now, but that's what I did. And I got the shit kicked out of me. And I separated herbs, and I shucked oysters and clams and uni, and I cut myself, and I got garlic and onions and peppers in my fingernails and in my eyes, and my skin was dry and oily at the same time. I had calluses on my fingers from the knives, and my stomach was fucked, and it was everything.
This is Creative Minds Radio.
And a couple years later, this funny thing happened, which is like, for the first time in my life, I started to find this station for myself. And I was fast. I wasn't afraid. And it was clear, and I felt okay, you know? I knew which vegetables went together, proteins, temperature, sauces, all that shit. And when somebody new came into the restaurant to stage, I'd look at them like they were a competition, like I'm gonna smoke this motherfucker. I felt like I could speak through the food, like I could communicate through creativity and that kind of confidence. You know, like I was good at something that was so new and that was so exciting, and I just wanted him to know that, and fuck, I just wanted him to be like, good job. And the more he wouldn't respond, and the more our relationship kind of strained, the deeper into this I went and the better I got. And the more people I cut out, the quieter my life got. And the routine of the kitchen was so consistent and exacting and busy and hard and alive, and I lost track of time, and he died. And he left me his restaurant. And over the last couple of months, I've been trying to fix it because it was in rough shape, and I think it's very clear that me trying to fix the restaurant was me trying to fix whatever was happening with my brother. And I don't know, maybe fix the whole family, because that restaurant, it has, and it does mean a lot to people. It means a lot to me.
You are live with Creative Minds Radio.
Yo, thanks for listening. Gonna be off now.